Hello and welcome back to another video, and today it's another edition of the Nathan Ashmore podcast, and we're lucky enough to have Nathan Ashmore on the pod. Obviously Fleet legend, a part of so many of the iconic moments recently for Fleet, obviously getting promoted that night in Aldershot, and was a massive part of Ebbsfleet's team over 4 years. Played nearly 200 games, 60 clean sheets, got to Wembley with Gosport. So Nathan, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you very much. You?
Yeah, we're all right. Just getting through. What have you been doing during lockdown?
Cool. A little bit of everything, mate. Like I said before we got cut off, doing the old marine fish tank, mate. That's all good and fun. Spending time with the family. About to put on some food on the old barbie now.
Oh, decent. What have you got on the barbie?
So I'm going to go with sausage, chicken, and pork steaks.
Decent.
Bit of everything, mate, to be fair.
Sounds good.
So let's talk about your football career. So how did you get into football?
So random one. So I don't remember how I got into football, but I can tell you where I started. I started with a team called Pompeii United Services. It's a naval-based team in Portsmouth. Started there when I was 15. Played in the men's first team at 16 and moved there to Havant. But I was playing for Havant and Waterlooville's youth team via the college. So I got into the first team at 19 years old and a contract at 19. So it was good.
You obviously, after Havant, you moved on to Gosport. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't meant to be at Havant. I just wanted to play games at the time. I thought I was young enough and good enough to play games, but I just wasn't getting that at Havant. So I decided to go to Gosport on loan for a year for the remainder of the season. I think it was like September, October. I think it was like October, November time. I think it was. Managed to make the deal permanent after Christmas, and we got promoted that season via the playoffs. Got promoted the following season. And then we were back in the Conference South, where I already left to go to Gosport via Havant. That was an interesting year in the Conference South last year because we were struggling pretty much for the whole season. We managed to get to the FA Trophy final, which was amazing. And we managed to get ourselves out of the relegation battle that we was in as well. So it was all in all, it was quite a good season in the Conference South for Gosport Borough.
And you spoke about the promotion. How did that feel? Because obviously that was your first glimpse of success in terms of going up. How did that feel?
Mate, it was amazing. Honestly, when I first went to Gosport, we were in mid-table. Didn't really look to go up or anything like that. It was just kind of, I just went there and just happy to play. Got some wins under our belt and some results went our way, and all of a sudden, after Christmas, January time, we were looking at going into the playoffs. I think we finished third, that season, and managed to beat Paul Town in the final, mate. So yeah, it was amazing. It was a good start for my journey, my career, mate. To be fair, and it was the first of many promotions.
Obviously, you've mentioned playing at Wembley. What was that like?
Yeah, it was amazing. The score wasn't great, but the actual day was unbelievable, mate. To be fair, couldn't fault the day, but it's just a shame that we didn't get the rub of the green, mate, and we just played a team that were just too good. But the actual playing, their experience of playing there was amazing.
And after Gosport, you obviously moved to Ebbsfleet in 2016. When you moved, what did Darryl sort of say to you? What ambitions did he sort of have for the club?
I went to. It was a funny story, mate. To be fair, because I was playing for Gosport on a Tuesday night against Bath, and we somehow won 1-0. I played really, really well, and the team that we're playing next was Ebbsfleet. And obviously, Ebbsfleet were scouting for Gosport to play because obviously they're playing them next. And I managed to have a really, really good game. We won 1-0 and I played quite well. And I got a message off someone. He was like, he's interested. Like, he wants you to go there now. There's 10 games left to play. They've not got results what they wanted recently, and he wants you to go there. So I spoke to the gaffer, Daryl, and he basically just went to me and said, just want your big presence in goal. Want you to be a man. Like, come in, you're a good character, big character, top keeper, and I just want you to do your thing. And basically that was it, mate, really. And it was one thing led to another. Bit of a shame that we missed out on the penalty. It was a bit cruel, really, because we were top for the whole season. I know I was only there for the last 10 games, but it was a good team, mate. It's a shame that we couldn't go up that season, but the following season we made it right.
Obviously, as you've mentioned, you signed when Ebbsfleet, obviously in the playoff situation. Was that a lot of pressure because you were thrown into 2 penalty shootouts in those playoff games?
I wouldn't see it as pressure. That was the reason why I went there. Because I wanted to play. I wanted to play as the high as I possibly could, and the opportunity to play for a team like Ebbsfleet was a little bit. It's just an upgrade from Gosport. I love my time at Gosport. We were in the playoffs at the time as well. I think we were only a couple of points behind Ebbsfleet at top. So it was just an opportunity to go full time as well, and it was for that time, mate. It was the right decision for me to go there and play. But I don't see it as it getting chucked into the penalty shootout, mate. That's what I wanted. I wanted to prove myself that I could play at the highest level or higher at the time. And I think I've done all right, to be fair. It's just a shame we just couldn't follow it through. But like I said, we made it right the following season.
Yeah, and you spoke about the next season. Obviously, going in at half time, we were down to 10 men, and then obviously in about the 60th minute, it went down to 1-0. Did you sort of think, it's going to happen again like last season?
No, mate. In all fairness, that season we had, the season we got promoted, we were a joke that season, mate. I think we only lost 4 games all season, and we only lost 1 game away from home. I think it was something like that. And we only conceded 30-something goals or something. We played 42. That in itself is unbelievable. But we kind of had even when we went 1-0 down, we still had the belief like, we keep it at 1-0, we're always going to get a chance to score. And that's because we've got such good quality players. And on the day, Sammy Deering was a joke. He was a joke that day. But they were the kind of players that that's what they were there for.
What were you thinking?
We were so good that season.
Sorry. What were you thinking when obviously Bagassan Graham, who went to sign on for Ebbsfleet, scored that first goal?
What, at the time he scored or at the time he signed?
Oh no, just when he scored it for in the playoff final.
What was it, like the 60 something minute or something, the 65th minute or something like that? It was because it was I've always when he first signed for me, I said that was never meant to go in because I didn't think it was a shot. But
it was a deflection.
It was annoying at the time because I thought at that time we were on top, but we just got done through a sucker punch goal really. But we reacted well to it, and yeah, by all means, we just had a lot of character in that team that season, mate. And even if, like I said, even if we went 1-0 down, we still believed that we were going to go out and win no matter what.
Was there a good party after that game?
Oh, was there ever? Was there ever? I think
somewhere in the Middle East.
Say again.
Didn't you go like in Kuwait or Qatar, so Dubai, something like that?
Yeah, well, there's a funny story about that though, because obviously we all went in the bar afterwards. I don't remember much after being in a bar, mate. I think so many people bought me a drink. It was a joke, but yeah, it was good fun. But we went out in London afterwards. But there's a little funny story. That, yeah, the chairman paid for us to go to Dubai, and I was buzzing. Obviously, absolutely buzzing at the time. And then I got to the airport, and they didn't take my passport because it was too damaged, so I couldn't go. I was gutted.
Oh.
Yeah, I was fuming about that. Never mind.
Oh, fair enough.
And
But the
then
lads
after
enjoyed it,
that, yeah. And then after that, after gaining promotion and having a good start in the National League, you obviously gained a lot of interest from Football League clubs. I think Forest Green were interested. What was it like to have that sort of interest in you?
yeah, it's amazing, mate, isn't it? Because it shows you're doing something well, especially when I have interest with League Above and stuff, or anyone. If you get interest anywhere, it's just showing that you're doing something right. But yeah, it was good. It was a tough decision, very, very tough, because I could have easily have gone. Should I have gone? I don't know, but I made the decision to stay at the time with the information I had at that time. I chose to stay.
Yeah.
Obviously, with what happened the season after, would you have made that decision to go if you can make it again? Obviously,
I have no regrets. Like I said, mate, at the time, I just gathered the information I had at that specific time, mate. But if I was to know what was going to happen to the club, I don't know, mate. I really don't know. You don't really know until that's happened. Who knows? But I stayed, so that's all that matters. I stayed.
And then obviously going into that season, we ended up getting into the playoffs, and we had that night in Aldershot where you pulled off, some great saves, and then especially in the penalty shootout. Like, how did the team react to that win?
In all fairness, mate, that whole season was very, very good for us. Our aim was to get into the playoffs. We didn't say nothing outside of our own football. Like that, it was to the playoffs, and it was a tough start because I think we drew about 15 games in like 20 or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
we drew a lot of games, put it that way. But when we turned them draws into a couple of wins, then a loss, then a couple of more wins, we kind of had the feeling like we had the same feeling when we won the playoffs in the previous year. But we're such a good team that season as well. We built on the team previously as well, so we believed in it. We could go up. It's just that it was just wasn't meant to be, mate. But it was an amazing season. The Aldershot game especially was. I don't think I'll ever forget that game, mate. To be fair, because we should have been dead and buried. It's what I mean about character. We had such good character. We were 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go in extra time, wherever it was. We think we scored. We had an actually never say die attitude. And the character we had in the change room, mate, was second to none. And I don't think a lot of teams could do what we'd done that season. But it's just a shame that with the backlog of fixtures, it killed us a little bit. But like I said, the night in Aldershot, mate, was great, and it will live long in the memory.
What were you thinking about? Obviously, when they went 3-1 up in the penalties, what were you thinking about?
I think I said it after the interview as well. After the game, I backed myself to save one penalty, at least one, and I knew if I saved one, we'll win it. I knew that. I didn't really care what they done, what the other keeper done. I just knew if I saved one penalty, we'll win it. And pretty much exactly what happened, mate. I know we had a little bit fortunate with two of them missing the target, but I still believe if I save one, we'll have a chance. And the one that I did save was it crucial. I think if they scored, we're out. We got beat. Yeah. But it just come at a crucial time, and I just always believed in back my ability to at least save one, and thankfully I did, and then we went on to win it, which is outrageous, by the way. Should never had no right to win that at 3-1 down. It's madness, but hey ho, it's a win.
Yeah. And then you obviously went on to the semi-final against Tranmere, and you said the way the format went out, it killed you. But you still really gave it your all. And at some points, you know, me sitting there, I thought we was going to win the game at 2-1. It just wasn't meant to be. What was the reaction after the game? Like, how proud was everybody of the team?
Yeah, everyone was proud, mate. Everyone was really proud. But it's one of those ones. It's a sucker punch, isn't it? Like, oh, it's all good to be proud, but we should have won, mate. I think we should have won. It's all ifs and buts. But we had an extra time game on a Wednesday. So basically, we played on a Saturday, extra time and penalties on the Wednesday night. We had 1 day rest. Then we had to travel up to Tranmere on a Friday and then play a game at 12:30. Like, whoever thought of them fixtures, it is shocking. Like, they need to have a good look at themselves, mate, because it was just made for one team. But I think I really do believe if it was a Sunday, if we had that extra day of rest, it was on a Sunday, or if it was on a Monday, mate, we took them to extra time. With the players that we had and the injuries that we had, and obviously playing on a Wednesday, we still took them to extra time. If we had that extra day rest, we could have held out for 2-1 or gone to penalties at 2-2. I think the goal that killed us was the extra time goal. It absolutely destroyed us. Yeah, the free kick absolutely it destroys me still to this day, mate. Because I got a fingertip into the post or the bar, wherever it was. It still hurts me now, but that's football at the end of the day. It's just fine margins, but it just wasn't meant to be, mate. And obviously they went on to win it, and fair play to them. And then they've gone up again, so it's fair play to them. Yeah,
it always felt like that game that we just looked so tired, and we had to obviously, because we had played that game on the Wednesday, we had to counter attack them. If that game was a week later, as you say, on a Sunday, we'd have had a lot more energy. We weren't having to just sit back on them a lot. So
yeah, exactly, mate. That's the thing as well. Like I said, if it was on a different day, it wouldn't have been completely. If we had the extra day of rest, it would have been a different type of story. But it's a shame because we were more than good enough to go up that season as well.
And obviously, you know, you as a goalkeeper, every goalkeeper gets it, and they receive a lot of stick, you know, for certain things like time wasting. And, you know, how do you deal with that stick? Because it's definitely difficult.
It is difficult, yeah, but it's one of those things you just got to face it, because I'm one of the ones that plays to the crowd a little bit. I like a bit of banter, I like a bit of smiling, and obviously it's well known that it's time waste. But it's one of those things. It's part of football. I don't mind getting abused a little bit, and I don't mind it. I know it's part and parcel of it, but it's whatever, mate. I just get on with it, really. But mate, every team that's under pressure, every single goalkeeper in football, mate, time waste. It's just one of those things.
So after big results and wins, obviously you're someone that's very passionate. You've always been so expressive, and like punching your chest, you know, punching to the crowd, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, mate. I just think I'm just very passionate about football, mate, and I like to win. If you're not in football and you don't like to win, there's no really point playing, is there? Like, everyone likes winning. But yeah, like I said, I get very, very emotional, very passionate about the team that I play for and playing, and almost like I said, I like to win, mate.
And then you know, that next season after that, you know, you just missed out on the playoffs with Gary Hill. Obviously, the summer after that, it led to a lot of setbacks. How much of a setback was it to just miss out on the playoffs?
It was unfortunate, mate. It wasn't meant to be. I think we just didn't have enough in the tank, mate. I think with what was going on, mate. With what was going on behind the scenes, mate, I just don't think everyone was really mindset on it. I don't think. Even me personally, mate, it's one of those things. It's like you want to get there, but it's kind of like it's completely different to the year before. So it was a shame that we missed out. Yeah, for sure. I think we missed out by like 3 points, wasn't it, or something? 2 points. I can't remember.
Something like that.
Can't really remember, mate. But yeah, it's a shame. But it's just what meant to be, mate.
Was that one of probably the toughest season you've had with all that was going on off the pitch?
Oh, mate, I've in all fairness, mate, all very everything what's happened, it all started the season that we got into the playoffs. Started around just after he started, but and I had a lot of problems at Gosport as well. I had the same sort of thing, but it wasn't as much money what players were getting paid at Ebbsfleet. This was a little bit different at Gosport because the two teams are completely different, aren't they? But I had the same thing. I think about 5 weeks without getting paid at Gosport back in the day, and similar to Ebbsfleet, we didn't get paid for numerous weeks. But like I said, mate, it's all in the past now. I'm no longer a player there at the end of this season, so there's not really much I can say about it now, mate. But it could have been a different story if things were different. So just put it that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and then obviously when you went into the next season, you was one of only a few players to still be remaining in the squad. But unfortunately, you was dropped only a few games into the season. How did you feel about that?
I wasn't happy about it, mate. But I knew from before that season, mate. I knew I wasn't wanted anyway.
Right.
It was kind of I didn't. In all fairness, mate, I didn't want to be there myself because I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
And my heart wasn't really set on staying there, mate. And when I had to stay, it was kind of like, I have to stay now. I'll stay.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I should have left, mate. I had the opportunity to go, but I didn't. It wasn't right for me, and it wasn't right for me to stay. But it's a whole new learning experience. But maybe it was for the best, mate. Who knows?
In that season as well, you left in sort of, obviously after you did get dropped, you were left in sort of limbo and just you weren't really getting involved in the sort of squads at all. What was that like?
No, mate. It was horrible, mate, because I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to go to the games. I wasn't allowed to train with the first team. I wasn't allowed to do anything. So someone like me with a big character and was very passionate about football, to get told I wasn't allowed to do anything was tough, and I didn't like it. But I kind of had to shut up, otherwise I wouldn't get paid because they'll just fine me for stupid things. So I kind of, hello, beautiful. So I kind of had to get on with it, mate. Wasn't the nicest, wasn't the best time in my footballing career, but I kind of done my own thing, got myself in mentally better shape, and thankfully, an opportunity comes to play somewhere else, and that's what I've done.
And then obviously you then got you had the season at Boreham Wood. That was sort of another lifeline to get playing back first team football. I've seen you've done really well, in terms of your league position and in terms of you personally. How did that feel to be back playing football again?
Yeah, mate, it was awesome. Yeah, really good. Sorry, smell. Yeah, it was. Like I said, the opportunity come. I grabbed it with both hands, mate, and all I wanted to do was just be back playing football and enjoying it was for me. Enjoyed it from day one, and I think you could see that in the performances that I played with Boreham Wood as well, and and the results. As soon as I went there, mate, I think my first game kept a clean sheet and we won 1-0 and a late winner. So kind of like we kind of pushed up the league, and now we were in the playoffs, mate. And I think we've got 9 games left to play, technically. But I think obviously what's going on now, it's a shame. But we had 9 games left to play, and we could have even caught our up or seconds and be in with a chance of playing one. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed back. I got back to playing football, mate, and I enjoyed it.
Obviously, the Boreham Wood chairman's been very vocal about cancelling the playoffs. Has it been tough? Obviously, Boreham Wood had a great chance of going up. Was it obviously disappointing when all coronavirus happened and you didn't have the opportunity to finally get to the Football League where you do deserve to be?
It's different mate. Everyone's different, because everyone just has to, mate. Coronavirus is here. It's impacted the world, and in all fairness, mate, football's probably one of the last things that we should really be talking about because of what's been happening with coronavirus. About should Liverpool win the league? It's kind of more important things in the world at the moment. But when it all goes back, which it will do soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, not everyone's going to like it. You just have to get on with it, mate. It's just one of those things.
Obviously, moving on to next season, you won't be playing for Fleet. You know, what are you looking for next season? You got a lot of opportunities. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the people at Ebbsfleet because I had such a good time there. Obviously, it wasn't all great, but like I said, for me personally, mate, it's a massive part of my career because we got promotion, played numerous games, played 200 games, over 60 clean sheets, which the record is ridiculous. Loads of great games that we played in. It's going to be different, not being going back there, but it's time for a new challenge, mate. So I don't know where I'm going to be next season. I really don't know. Hopefully, me and my agent can sit down and think of something that where I can play, I can enjoy it for next season. But where I don't know.
Do you have ambitions to get into the Football League before? Obviously, you've still got a long time in your career left. Is your ambition
to get into the Football League? Yeah, of course. My main objective is to play in the Football League. That's one of the biggest objectives of I have playing football. It's to play at the highest level you can possibly play for. But if I can make it into a Football League, I'll be more than happy.
Do you have your best 11?
Best 11 for Ebbsfleet?
You could just do it generally, but if you want to do a best 11 for Ebbsfleet, that's fine.
Yeah, so I would start, obviously, being selfish.
Fair enough.
So I think, in all fairness, mate, I think you have to go with the team that got us into the playoffs in the conference. So Bushy, left back, Dave, Clarkey, Magri, Colson, Corey, Jukesy, what a player, by the way. What a guy as well. He's the sickest guy, mate. He's so funny. Like, he has got the driest sense of humour, the driest banner in the world. He's the funniest character. I'll have Keds up top with Cheeky. Who else do we have up top? In that season we got.
That season
that playoff.
That playoffs. Headers. I think.
It was pretty much just Kedders and Whiteley, wasn't it?
Kedders and Whiteley. Kedders was on his own.
Keds and Corey, wasn't it? And then Colson on the left-hand side. Yeah, mate, that was a sick team. That. But yeah, I think you'll have to go with that team that got us into the Conference South playoffs, mate. Jack Connors as well was a good player.
Would you have Darren McMahon managing that team?
Oh, of course, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Nathan.
Yeah, no worries, bud.
Lockdown. Thanks for coming on. Obviously, everyone at Fleet, want to wish you all the best for the rest of your career.
Cheers, buddy. No, thanks very much. I just want to say thanks for everyone at the Fleet and all the support they've given me. I've had loads of messages from them. It's a shame it didn't end as what we all wanted, but it's just football, mate. So thanks very much for the support, and hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, cheers, Nathan. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
All the best, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.